Hello everybody and welcome into the SFA Season 20 Week 1 BearCave games. We are back after a crazy Week 0. Everybody else gets their chance to play their first game here today. It's going to be a great stream. We got 10 BearCave games and a big-time game day between Texas Tech and Alabama. So a lot to look forward to. As always, though, this is the SFA. It's an online dynasty. Ran through Discord, Twitch, and YouTube. You can jump in at any time, claim an open team, set your playbooks, recruit players in the Discord, and build your way to a national championship. Links are in any of our descriptions, and if you want even more action from the SFA, you can check out patreon.com/thesfa. How was the dog walk? Good, except my dog refuses to get off my lap, so I think she's having trouble adjusting to this new work schedule. So because I had like a month and a half off, so you know, we might have the dog interrupt the stream a little bit here, but that's all right. Wisconsin is gonna happen a little bit later on. Welcome in everybody. Big crowd here today. We got a lot of people. Yes, the garden in gold stuff looks really good. So we're going to jump into BearCave games. If you aren't aware of how BearCave works, 10 best games of the week. We'll jump in, see if they're close. If they're not, we'll just keep on simming. But if they are, we'll watch them play out live. So the first game that we're going to start with here tonight is going to be Oklahoma State taking on Northern Illinois. So Coach Yumilk having some SFA players now on this team against Coach Fed, who has the highest rated quarterback in the country, Victor Ross, transfer from Texas. We got 25 people in here today. Thank you guys. Name Natia is the name of our puppy. We got a sub for Yui, 31 straight months. Heck yeah. Thank you, Yui. You are the bomb. I do not want to sim that game. Alright, so Sved, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. Yumilk, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. This is an 11-point favorite for the road team, so make sure you guys participate in the polls. Best way for you to build your Bobanos and claim raffle tickets a little bit later on in the season. You guys got a minute on the clock. My dog is literally up in my face. And we got a gifted sub from Cryo. Thank you, King. Game day for Alabama. Is Alabama for real here? Yes, I will help you cheat at trivia here tonight. Jackie Moon. 67th gifted sub. 6767. Heck yeah. Is anybody going to trust the Huskies from Northern Illinois? Is anyone going to trust them? All right, don't see either of them in chat, so let's just jump on in with the road team. Here we go, folks. Week 1 officially underway. Remember, we got a 24-team playoff we're playing to, so that means every single matchup matters. So can they pull the upset here? Bill Blanco had a big season last year for them. So heads and kick as always for the away team, but NIU does win the toss. So here we go. Not often we take a trip to the MAC, but here we are today. Let's get her done. Oh, they have the backdrop Illinois on their field. That's kind of cool. We got pretty much clean bill of play here in the first quarter. My dog is biting my headphone string, and we got a missed extra point from OK State, and they were trailing until a last-second touchdown to Roos. Remember, Oklahoma State does have one of the best passing offenses in the country, and NIU hanging tough here. So currently a no cover. Can they take the lead late? No. Oklahoma State is looking good. We're going to go one play at a time, see if they can't get this back in scoring, and no, Oklahoma State pulls away late, and that is gonna do it. 47-21, 47-28 is your final, so that's an OK State cover for those of you guys marking at home. So let's pay you guys out. 54% of you guys thought the cover was going to happen. Congratulations. As always, we go through all the stats as well. Blankenship, SFA player. Blankenship had 2 touchdowns there. So Victor Ross, best quarterback in the country, 28 of 43, 351, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. Cedric White, 155. Blankenship had 137. Rouse had 133. And on defense, Denver Dietz tried to leave in transfer portal. Sved kept him, and he gets 4 TFLs. No sacks. No interceptions to speak of. The deflections was Brian Green. Forced fumble was Denver Dietz, so he's already playing dividends, or paying dividends. Northern Illinois, Tim O'Connell, a transfer that Yumel got in the portal. He had 4 touchdowns today, but needs to increase that completion percentage against these good teams. Chris Davis only had 34 yards. They could not run the ball here today. And on defense, TFLs had quite a few of them. No sacks on the day. Interceptions, 1 for Brandon Willis. A lot of deflection opportunities and the fumble for Casey Bennett. So that will do it. As always, we're going to get our players of the game, and then we'll move on through to the next one. Welcome in, Coach Flame. Didn't you win? Did you win your game? I'm pretty sure you won your game. No Lincoln Riley problems. I think I would have saw if you won your game or if you lost your game. So this is a cover for OK State. My dog is going absolutely ballistic. Oh, my Lanta. Settle down. Come on. Settle. All right, next game on the docket here. North Texas at Georgia Southern. So the debut of the generational duo. Oh, baby. Yam and Hamberto Reyes taking the field for the first time against a perennial contender in the Sun Belt. Coach Trevor Lee, let me know if you're here. Heads or tails, kick or receive. This is a 3-point favorite, though, for Jay Sow, so we'll see what happens there. So get your Bobanos in. Generational duo going to the Denton Fatties. We'll see how this generational duo connection does here today. D-Sleep rooting for all of his exes, absolutely. Texas does play a little bit later on against Chum Toad. All right, so here we go. They still have Cole Castles over there in at Georgia Southern, so we'll see if he can make something out of nothing this year for Jay Sow. So here we go. Critical game here for both of these teams in the non-conference. Quick strike for North Texas. Georgia Southern ties it up, though. Good quarterback play on both sides, both SFA quarterbacks, but not a lot of scoring here early on. It's only 10-10, and Georgia Southern adds a field goal right before the half, currently a cover. As we transition to the second half, North Texas ties it up, and they can't take the lead. So we're going to go one drive at a time here in the second half, or fourth quarter, and neither team given an inch. Long drive here in North Texas, still can't do anything. Tried to go for it on fourth down, trying to find Ham, couldn't punch it in. This might be the first game that we jump into on the day. We got a pass intercepted from Cole Castles. Remember, we'll jump in at that 2-minute mark if it matters, and here we go. The debut of the generational duo, Ham and Yam. Number 4 is Yamberto Reyes. Number 5 is Hamberto. Play action here. First play of their career live. Yams it to the corner and wide left. Yamberto just a little bit off the mark. He does have a big-time arm. Minute 51 on the clock. In prime position here for the Denton Fatties. Ham down at the bottom of the screen. Handoff here to the running back. Runs over a man, and Craig Norwood gets maybe 2. So we'll continue on here. 90 seconds left in the game. They have plenty of time to just run this clock. 3rd and 8. What is the call? The snap, the handoff. It's another run play. They're just gearing it up for the kick. Running to the left hash. Doesn't care if he lose yardage. Georgia Southern going to take their first timeout. So the field goal to make this a 3-point lead for the Denton Fatties. The kick is up, and it is good. The Denton Fatties take the lead, but plenty of time for Cole Castles and company. 65 seconds and 2 timeouts. Can they get it done? They will return this here. Caught at the goal line, goes up the gut, up to the 24. Cole Castle's not having his best day. 16 of 30, 209, and 2 interceptions with no touchdowns. Not what you're accustomed to seeing from an upperclassman SFA player, especially against a poor defense like this one. Split backs here for Cole Castles. 4-man rush, has time, steps up, yams it out of bounds. So perhaps Georgia Southern's just failed to get him weapons here. Not able to separate from the Denton Fatties, who run like 10.140s. Empty set here for Cole Castles. The snap. It's just an out route. Doesn't do much there. You got to do more than 5 yards of pass. 3rd and 5. They're going to call a timeout instead of hurrying it up. The snap for Cole Castles. Yams it, Dan. It's a completion. He hangs on for Adam Blanco. 16 yards. And that'll keep him in the hunt here for tying this game up. Very nicely done. So the snap now, blitz. Hits his man. No, tipped away or dropped. I'm not sure what happened there. But a big play could have happened there. He might have had a seam. Missed opportunity there. 43 seconds in a dream. 2nd and 10. Has time. Dumps off to the running back. Breaks a tackle. Falls forward. Can't get to the first down. So the clock is running. They've got to hurry this up here. 30 seconds. 3rd and 1. 4-man rush. Yams it to the corner. Open man the flat. Stiffy's 3 men, stays on his feet and gets close to going out of bounds. The clock stops for a second. They're going to have to hurry this up here. They're going to say the clock's going to continue to run. So fringe field goal range for your typical kicker, but here in the group of 5, maybe not so much talent. I need about 15, 20 yards, and they get it there. Donald Harper. Beautiful pitch and catch there. They are in range. And now Georgia Southern can start taking shots at the end zone here. Cole Castles. Ice in his veins. The snap for Cole. He yams it to the end zone, and it's intercepted! The Denton Fatties are going to walk away with a win, assuming that foot was in. Was that foot in? And it was. No, they're not going to even take a look at it. North Texas survives. And in their debut, Yam and Ham get an outright victory here for the Denton Fatties. That's what the generational duo can do for you. So +3, they're going to win this game outright. And they will go to the winners column. Even though they only scored 16 points, it was just enough. And that will do it. So 16-13 is your final here. good riddance. Yam is your player of the game in his debut. All right, so we'll take a look at all the stats here. Very low-scoring game, but a critical win here for the Conference USA. Remember, all these non-conference games are going to be pivotal in deciding the conference strength. And probably depends how many at-large teams a team potentially could get in here. Very long ending to this game. Oh, beautiful shot there from the hedges. All right, so let's take a look at the stats here. Scoring summary. A lot of field goal action here in the second half. So in his debut, Yam goes 16 for 28, 203 and 1 score. Running the ball, he also ran it quite a bit, 15 for 28. Hamberto went over 100 yards. Beautiful job. On defense, TFLs, they had 4 total interceptions, had 3 of them. That's probably the deciding factor here tonight. They got a deflection. And for Georgia Southern, so Cole Castles ended with 3 interceptions, 21 of 38, 266. Not the best start for him this year. Four TFLs for James Robinson, no sacks. And that will do it. So 16 to 13 is your final. We'll get those players of the game here. So Yam and David Lee. I think David Lee had that game-sealing interception. And that's an outright victory for North Texas for those of you guys doing BearCave at home. And we'll move on to the next game. So next up is a weird one, maybe on paper not the closest game, but Penn State Coach Dave taking on J-Bo Gritters, the talk of the offseason. Not only did he backstab Coach Phi, but he went and backstabbed Coach Pizza in the portal and went to Coach Bobert. So a shocker move in the offseason here. So we'll see if he is the savior of Temple football or if he is just another chump. All right, so get those Bobanos in. Will Temple keep this within 2 scores? Coach Dave wants head and receive. And for jerseys, he wants regular away, no shenanigans. All right, he'll keep the shenanigans for on the field, of course, with Thad Russell as his quarterback for another season. So can Temple shock the world? It'd be hilarious if J-Bo Gritters was the savior of Temple football here. So get those Bobanos in. So heads and receive for Coach Dave. Trying to start out on the right foot here. He is, especially with Ohio State losing last week, among the favorites in the division. Is Coach Dave finally going to achieve those pre-Texas levels of Penn State football when they had Terrell Pryor at quarterback? That's decades ago at this point. And it's 10-0 start here for the Nittany Lions, 17-0. J-Bo Gritters can't even put a point on the board. He finally does, but it's 31-6 here before the break. They add a late score, 31-13. 38. It's slowing down here in the second half. It looks to be over, but can we see a backdoor cover here? No, we can't. So 38, 45 to 13. It is a splattering here at Temple University, and that will do it. 45-13 is your final, and that is a Penn State cover. Pretty easily, might I add. People are actually trusting Jabo Gritters. So Road McKnight had a big-time run here. Jabo Gritters scored on the ground. He threw one through the air, and that was pretty much it. Thad Russell has 2 touchdowns on the day. David Gutierrez and Road McKnight both had fantastic days for the running game. 4 TFLs here for Brewer. 2 sacks and a sack for Davis. No picks. The 4 deflections here as well for the defense, including the fatty Kuala Cruz. Dolores River legend. Jabo Gritters, 14 of 27, 228 and a score. He ran for 42 yards. Defensively, 11 tackles there for Myers, 4 total TFLs, no sacks, no interceptions. To force the upset, you got to win those kind of turnover and sack margins, kind of call those hinge plays, or high momentum value plays. All right, so Jabo Gritters, David Gutierrez, Terrence Myers, and Jeremy Brewer are your players of the game. Dave starts out in emphatic fashion with a beautiful cover. Nicely job. So now next up, we're going to go Oklahoma and Pitt. So Coach Mills putting together a formidable team this year, adding Raquise Moxie from over at Arizona. We'll see how that plays out for him this year. This is a 4.5-point favorite for Pitt. And Oklahoma, the former powerhouse, kind of falling off here a little bit. So 4.5-point favorite. So we'll get those Bobinos in. Get your predictions going. Is Oklahoma going to take them down? Or is Mills going to be a legitimate, scary team this season? I don't think so, but you never know. So Mills, if you're here, kick or receive. If you're not, I'll just jump on board with Oklahoma. I don't see any Mills ball action, so we'll just jump aboard the Oklahoma Sooners. And Bronco legend Marvin Mims Jr. should have been Super Bowl MVP had we made it there. Shameful. So here we go at Heinz Field. Just regular heads and kick here for the Oklahoma Sooners. Can Mills get her done? This would be a massive win for the American over the Big 12. It's a 3-point game early on. Nothing doing for the offenses. Pitt scores. Oklahoma responds. 17-7 here. All right, at halftime, a 10-point lead. Mills has got to kick this game into gear here. Offense not putting together anything. This is a shocker. Pitt doing nothing. Big-time expectations kind of fizzling out here. Can he find a way? All right, 3-point game. Pitt with the comeback here late. Remember, Oklahoma has SFA IGR Trice McSquirtle as their quarterback right now. He is a freshman starter, so this is his first chance. And we're going to get to see Mills have a chance here as they turn the ball over. And they score a long one. They take the lead before you can even jump in. A 58-yard bomb to Hayford Oh, baby. So now we're going to get on board with Trice McSquirtle. Can Oklahoma find a way after blowing a 24-7 lead? They come out here in the Wildcat. This gentleman wearing Gus McFeeder's jersey number, Robert McCutcheon. I feel like that's a sin. SFA legend Gus McFeeders. I believe he's a Hall of Famer if I remember correctly. 3rd and 9. Trice McSquirtle. Has time, steps up, yams in. That's a first down. Beautiful pass there from Trice. Caught by Adrian Gray. So McSquirtle, no touchdowns on the day, 1 interception. Hits his man over the middle, hit hard. Mills has done a good job of recruiting linebackers. So going over the middle is tough at times. 3 timeouts for both teams. Plenty of time on the clock. Oklahoma needs a touchdown. Trice dumps it off here to the tight end on the slip route. Gamara Stevenson. Who names their kid Gamara? Yuck. All right, here we go. Across the 50. Cheeks are starting to clench on both sides. Mills with a comeback victory. 3 unanswered touchdowns. Wide open in the flat. He'll get 7 out of it. No timeout yet. Or yes, they did. They took their first timeout of the game. 55 seconds left. 4 wide. Press coverage throughout. Watch the yam. It was a screen pass, but they blew it up. Not the best completion percentage there here for McSquirtle in his debut. This would be a monster non-conference victory for Pitt in the AAC. 3rd and 3. Dumps that off. It's caught. It was inaccurate, but it didn't matter. Adrian Gray made up for it and got them the first down. A huge play there from Adrian Gray. 47 seconds now. Here at the 36. They need a touchdown. Has time, dumps it off again. Another inaccurate pass, Adrian Gray, resulting in only 2 yards this time. Clock is running. They are not going to spike it, or yes, they will. So 34 yards away. So 30 seconds left. 3rd and 8. Pitt needs a stop. McSquirtle. Oh, the QB draw. He stiffies a man and gets about half of it. They're going to have to hurry it up. Game officially on the line here. Game is on the line. Going empty set. Are they going to run it again? No, they'll throw it. He yams it deep right side and caught. No! Oh, he dropped it. Trice put it in the perfect spot and the receiver just dropped it. Mills is going to go to 1-0. And that is going to be a Pitt no cover. So down by 21, Pittsburgh finds a way. I don't think you can blame that on Trice, Dave. That was a perfect pass. His receiver just didn't bring it in. Unbelievable game here. And that will do it. So congratulations to Mills, a critical win here to start the season, but Oklahoma bettors are victorious. So Moxley in his debut had a decent day.
The final score is the Pittsburgh Panthers 28 and the Sooners.
Heinz 57 and French fried tomato. Cheeseburger in paradise. Cheeseburger in paradise. My dog is making this stream like level a million impossible. She is ridiculous. I'm gonna have to send a picture in Discord. So if you check general here, you'll be able to see what I'm having to deal with right now. All right, so let's... Oh my gosh. Oh, so we got a new ESPN Classic here. So the scoring summary... A lot of scores for McCutcheon, but it doesn't matter. Cole Harrison, SFA player, getting it done. Trice McSquirtle, 18 of 42, 261, and 1 interception. Rushing the ball 56 yards and 3 touchdowns. Lorenzo Wood is their leading receiver. 3 TFLs, the sack for Davis. Interception for Harley Sewell, SFA IGR. He's a freshman. Raquise Moxley, 17 for 34, 285, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Running the ball, Chase Bird, 117 and a score. Cole Harrison, SFA player, Jaguar McKnight, brother of Rode McKnight. He had 4 catches on his own. Gary Van Allen, SFA IGR, had 4 TFLs and a sack in his debut, the only sack here for Pitt, and Chase Daniels with the interception, deflection for Scott Clay, and no picks. So big-time win for Pitt in the non-conference. Definitely kind of springs them near the top here for the American front-runners, along with Cincinnati and Syracuse. Notice how I did not mention Rutgers. So that is a Pitt no cover. Remember, all games will be posted later on. VODs will be available tonight. Highlights maybe tomorrow. We'll see with the later game day starts. I don't know what my schedule is going to look like moving forward consistently. So next game up on the docket is Nebraska at California. So Coach Iggy's debut on the season against Coach Zach. Longtime coach. So Zach, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. This is a 2-point favorite here for Nebraska. Or are you guys going to rock with the newbie over at California? Brought in a wide receiver here in the offseason. Traditionally one of the best programs in the country in historical win percentage. Almost always has a formidable style team here. So get those Babanas in. I don't see Coach Zach here in the chat, so we'll just jump aboard. Coach Iggy, if you're here, kick or receive. Don't know if he made his way to stream today. All right, so we'll just jump aboard here. Nebraska and California. Big Ten versus Pac-12. Kind of that critical mid-level. An interesting note for Nebraska, Nuke Jennings is the starting quarterback this year. So he lowered the overall of the other quarterback so that Nuke could take over despite little progression. So we'll see what Nuke does today. Zach did great work in the transfer portal in the secondary. One of the best secondaries in the country, if not the best. So we'll see how that works out here today on the road. Quick score for Cal, so maybe it didn't work, but they replied. Tied up after 1. Nebraska takes the early lead. Working towards the end of the half. Nebraska takes a 10-point lead, so looking good here for the Big Ten. Cal needs to respond here. Haven't scored since their opening possession. Still only a 2-score game, and now it's 3 scores. Not looking good here for the California Golden Bears. They've got to find a way here. 34-7. Nebraska putting belt to ass here in Cal Berkeley. It doesn't even look like Cal's going to score again. 41-7 is your final. That is a Nebraska emphatic cover. Bit of a splattering there today. So Nuke Jennings kind of cooking here tonight. So scoring summary here. Quincy Bush, the guy that they got from the transfer portal. But then the rest of the way, kind of a Nebraska splatterhouse. So 27-42, 390, 3 touchdowns, and an interception here for Nuke Jennings in his debut as the starter. Very nicely done. 171 for Derek White. Dakota Jumping Bull doing his thing. On defense, 3 TFLs here for Snyder. Romeo Krotz had a sack, SFA guy. Nate Wilson had a pick. 2 deflections, no forced fumbles. And for Coach Iggy, he's got to go to the drawing board. Lee Arnold, 11 for 32, 159 in a score. They couldn't run the ball, really. Quincy Bush, the transfer portal got that touchdown, like I said. Weaver had 10 tackles. TFL's TJ Mixon had 3. 2 sacks. 1 interception. 2 deflections. And no forced fumbles. So that will do it here for this game. We'll get our players of the game, of course, and then we will continue on. We're moving our way through the games here. Jay Jettas, we'll get to you when we get to you. Reminder, guys, we also have recruits coming tonight. There's 6 recruits signing today. Rest of the season will only be 5 a week. So this is a Nebraska cover. Next up, Colorado at Northwestern. So this is the debut of Sir Sproutberger on his new team. Coach Dogwater, the fatty. And this is our first push of the season, or of the day, I guess you could say. Who wins? Are you going to go with Northwestern, or are you going to go with Colorado? You guys got a minute on the clock to pick. So jersey purple, Wildcat helmet. Let's see what you got here. Purple cat, purple shirt, white pant, and then white shoes. All right, Dogwater, let me know kick or receive if you'd like. Yeah, Oklahoma has fallen off a little bit from their days of being a powerhouse. That's what happens when you lose your SFA coach. So here we go, Northwestern and Colorado. Can Sir Sproutberger put it up through the air like he did at Indiana, or will it be the Dakari Gash show? Only time will tell here. I don't see Fat Boy, so he's going to go with kick. So Sir Sprout, how is he going to handle the pressure of the Denton, or not the Denton Fatties, of just the Fatties? Quick 10-0 start here for Northwestern. They are cooking. Remember, pretty much only SFA players on this offense now. But they also don't have the best defense, but that's not mattering here today. 20-7 start here at home. Northwestern kind of cooking. Colorado trying to fight back, and they will. Remember, they have TJ Luke as their quarterback, the moonball terrorist. But Northwestern re-extends the lead to 3 scores. It's not looking good here for the Colorado hopeful. And that looks like it's going to be a Northwestern outright victory here to start the season as they miss a field goal, but it will not matter. We're going to go to the end of the game. Northwestern gets it done. Congratulations, Coach Dogwater, on a very, very nice victory here. Never a doubt, really. Sawkins got into the end zone. Williams did as well. Gash got into the end zone. Sir Sproutberger, 18 of 37, 226, and 2 touchdowns. Dakari Gash, 129 and a score. Sawkins had 112 and a score. Shayshawn Upton, only 2 catches. Arvin Epps, the new linebacker, the freshman, had 7 tackles. 2 TFLs here for Muzzy Goonberg, the freshman. He also had the only sack of the day. 2 interceptions as well. 4 sacks. 1 forced fumble here for Felder. And TJ Luke, yes, he is still alive and he's still here and he's still doing funny things. 16 of 38, 192, and 2 picks. Absolutely elite. Albert Reddick, 11 for 40 and a score. He also led them in receptions here. He is a very good player. 5 TFLs for Lonnie Thomas. No interceptions. No sacks. 4 deflections. The forced fumble for Brian Jones, but they did not recover it. So that will do it here for this Patreon Game of the Week. So Sir Sprout, in his first game as Wildcat, gets himself Player of the Game. Congratulations. So that is a Northwestern outright victory. And now we're at the point, if you are new around here, if I am not on stream, then my game is simmed live for all of you to see. So Wisconsin at Central Michigan. We're taking a MAC tour this year in the non-conference. Day Knight's debut here as a baddie. How will he do? Will we take down the MAC or will we suffer excruciating defeat? No, we don't. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Oh, Day Night, baby. Oh, and Marie Smith returned a kickoff. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Are the baddies back? Folks, are the baddies back? Some are saying we are back. Rank Wisconsin. Rank Wisconsin. The baddies, baby. On your dome and in your home. The baddies on your dome. The baddies on your dome. The baddies on your dome. Go, go, Wisconsin. I don't know their fight song, but it's been a while since I've had joy as a Wisconsin Badgers head coach. As you look here, Day Night is the player of the game. Just getting my screenshots here so that I can post them later. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the next portion of the BearCave stream. This is where the games get a lot better on paper, at least. Kansas State taking on Michigan. Maybe not yet. Remember, folks, week 1 kind of has some snoozers in there. But this is user versus user. This is Florida Man versus Kennelly. This is a, what is this? A 7-point game here. So Michigan is a 7-point favorite. Or are you rocking with K-State, who is a +7 favorite? Forgive me for taking so long. I'm doing this all one-handed. Okay, so for jerseys, Florida Man wants a wideout. Kennelly, do you have a request on a jersey? We're going to go wide out here for the boy. Kennelly, this team better not suck. Debut of Kadeem Magdara. New quarterback here for the Michigan Wolverines. They do have a very talented wide receiver core, so if any freshman is set up to succeed, it should be Kadeem Magdara. I don't see Kennelly requesting any sort of uniforms, so we're just going to keep on going. Florida man said heads and kick. All right. So here we go. Can the Wolverines get it done? In the big house. All right, we should. Okay. So heads and kick for Kansas State. Can they get this one done? I guarantee you nobody believes in Florida man. Not even himself. First quarter here for the Wildcats. They're keeping it close early. Michigan finally gets something on the board. Currently a Michigan cover after one. Kansas State on pace to never score again. They finally get into the end zone with Skippy Bella, and they take the lead right before half. Skippy Bella finds Mullins for a 33-yarder. Oh, that is an absolute ball buster here for the Wolverines. They retake the lead, and they take another, coming out blazing. Couple of interceptions for both teams there. Nothing of substance coming from it. Kansas State has to find a way to get something going. They do get a fumble recovery here, so they've got to figure out what to do with it. And they do. They get a quick score there to Alec Brown. So we're going to go one drive at a time. They're down by 3. We're going to go one play here. Michigan has the rock. They can finish this game out with a touchdown. But it's 3rd and a billion. 4th and 17. We're going to watch them go for it. 2 minutes left. Will Kansas State get a chance? Kadeem Magdara, the true freshman. 4th and a million. It's a screen pass, and he's not even going to get it off. Kansas State has a chance. Kadeem Magdara couldn't get it off his chest. Coach Florida man loves it as we get a beautiful look at his bald spot. 24-21, Skippy Bella, the freshman. Zakara Sparks in the backfield, Alec Brown out wide. Handoff here to Zakara Sparks, and he goes nowhere. Kareem Dahl, 3 tackles and an interception. Or a TFL. 100 yards for Zakara Sparks. 2nd and 10, Skippy Bella, clean pocket, tries to escape, and he's going to go down. He's sacked. Lionel Mills brings him down. 14 tackles on the day. That is huge. Third and 16 here for Kansas State. Motion man from the tight end, Atticus Mumpfield. To screen pass themselves, Zakara Sparks in open field. He has a lane. He's going to get the first and more. Zakara Sparks, the transfer from Baylor, making a big play. Tommy Torpedo saved a touchdown potentially there. Now Skippy Bella, he's absolutely blown up. Right up the gut, it's Marty Harrington. They highlighted him in the intro package. 2nd and 18 now, back across midfield, just kind of going bumper cars here, bumper boats. Back and forth across the 50. Skippy Bella yams it to the corner, and that is a 50-50 ball incomplete. Nice sticky coverage there. 3 touchdowns, 2 picks here for Skippy in his debut. Not the worst. But 3rd and a million. They got to get in field goal range. Don't know how good their kicker is. Snigel Owens, the SFA IGR. Definitely cannot hit it from here. 3rd and a million. The snap has time. Yams it to the corner. Way low. Almost caught off the tip. Now the game is officially on the line for Florida man. 4th and 18. Does Florida Man have a miracle, or will Michigan no cover? The snap for Florida Man. Oh no, he goes down again. And that will do it. Michigan is going to survive, assuming they're not dumb and give Kansas State the ball back. We have to watch it play out because they do have all those timeouts. Incredible pass rush there for the Michigan Wolverines, and now they're going to try and run it. One first down would end this game. One first down would end it to the left side, and he does nothing with it. So 3rd and 10 now. Will they try and throw the ball? Hand off Williams to the outside. He gets the edge, can't break the tackle. So Kansas State gets another chance here. And they will go for it. They're just going to try and end the game instead of going for a pooch punt or a weird field goal. Can Mac Dara save Christmas? His first career game in the maize and blue. Dumps it off. First down. And that will do it. Brian Miller wins the game for the Wolverines. So that will go down as a Michigan no cover here. So Florida Man hung with them there. So 9% of the money went on Florida Man, and he is victorious.
Michigan 24, Kansas State 21.
So Kansas State comes into the big house, can't quite get it done. Got a couple more games here left in BearCave. I'd say coming out of this, I'm a little bit more worried for Michigan than I am for Kansas State. Not the best omen there. Is this going to be a similar situation for Kennelly that Fresno State was? So 3 more games left in the BearCave slate. And then we have a nice game day coming up. We got the Pickle versus Alabama. Tommy Torpedo, like the 800K man or whatever it was. So here's a look at the scoring summary. Alec Brown gets into the end zone a couple of times. Skippy Bella goes 22 of 44, 258, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, perfectly mid. Sakara Sparks over 100 yards. Kevin Mullins had the big-time touchdown. Alec Brown also had 2 scores. Cummings had 3 TFLs. Oops. Cummings gets a sack. Interception for Khalil Khan, the SFA player. And the forced fumble for Michael Quinn. All right. And for Michigan, Kadeem Magdara, 22 of 43, 265, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 87 yards for Brett Williams, 2 touchdowns. Receiving, he gets 1 touchdown. Defensively, 14. No, Natia. Sorry, that's my dog. 3 TFLs across the board. A lot of sacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total sacks. 2 interceptions for Lionel Mills. So Mills absolutely cooking here for the Michigan Wolverines. A lot of deflections. 2 forced fumbles and an interception. Or, sorry, a fumble recovery for Justin Thomas. And I already went through Kansas State. So we'll get our players of the game, and then we'll keep on moving. So Brett Williams, Skippy Bella, Michael Quinn, and Lionel Mills. So that is a Michigan no cover for those of you guys betting at home. Next game up is going to be Oregon and Texas. So Chumto debut at Oregon, taking on D-Sleep over at Texas. It is a 9-point spread. Chumtoad trying to revitalize Oregon here. So Chumtoad, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. This is a, like I said, a 9-point favorite here for number 9. So get those Bobinas in. And D-Sleep, if you have a request for jerseys, let me know. I don't see one here. Okay, I see that you want kick, Chumto, but do you want heads or tails? Tails and kick. Alrighty. What 2 countries are on the Aegean Sea? No idea. Sorry, I'm not much help. Alright, let's jump on in with Oregon. See if they can take down Texas here. It's Quavius Bunkersfield and company. Oregon Ducks haven't been relevant since Taylor Prado. Can Chumtoad right the ship? His first game, he's been at New Mexico, Tulsa, and now Oregon. So here we go. Oregon and Texas, a heavyweight matchup in the non-conference. 7-0 here for Texas here at home. Oregon not able to do much. Shantavius Slime did get redshirted. 17-0, and oh, we got a safety and a touchdown. D-Sleep wouldn't have it any other way. Can take the fatty out of Denton, but you can't take Denton out of the fatty. But it's now 37-9, so maybe it doesn't matter as much. 37-16, can we get a backdoor cover? Doesn't look like it, but the 18-yard field goal was no good. 37-23. Hold your horses, folks. Can the backdoor cover happen? Can Oregon get the ball back? Come on. Backdoor cover. Backdoor cover. Can they score? Yes, they do! The backdoor cover for the Oregon Ducks. And now we got to watch it. Can Oregon get the ball back and really put pressure on Texas? It's caught. They got to force the fumble, and they don't. D-Sleep blows a massive lead, but he's going to find a way to win. We got to watch the game to make sure there's no funny business. But a great job from Oregon here. Oregon doing a great job battling back, showing some heart from Chumtoad. And that will do it. So a 7-point win for the Texas Longhorns. And Oregon with the cover. 10% of the money went on the cover. Congratulations. Nakos had a long touchdown here. And Yam Toomer got in the end zone, SFA freshman. So Adam Schroeder, 21 of 38. He had 3 touchdowns on the day. They really could not run the ball. But Yam Toomer, the SFA freshman, gets 5 for 79. On defense, 14 tackles for Lance Jordan, 2 TFLs for Clark, sack for Hubbard, interceptions, none. 2 deflections. The forced fumble for McNeil. Bunkersfield goes 16 for 31, 237. Not so much of a Bunkersfield RB today. John Ramirez had a big-time day, though, 152 and 3 touchdowns. Snodgrass led the way with receptions, but Nakos got into the end zone. All SFA players. 4 TFLs here for Parker, 3 total sacks, interception for Reggie Axelson. Actually, Chum Toad's former player, he promised him something, broke the promise, and then he transferred over to Texas. So a little payback there for Reggie Axelson. Sorry about my dog growling. All right, so Texas and Oregon put up a decent fight. That's a Texas no cover for those of you guys following along at home. We're Gooners. Your Gooners. Next up, we've got Syracuse Brio taking on Baylor. This was the Season 15 National Championship game, where Baylor was victorious. New look, though, this time for UNC, as Parker Towns is now their quarterback. The longtime UNLV quarterback now transferred to UNC, trying to make a run with them. UNC, down year last year, maybe they're due. They had a heavy injury issues last season. No more Bob Rubshaw. So 4-point favorite for the road team, UNC. Syracuse Brio, if you're here, heads or tails, kick or receive. And the Baylor Bears, of course, no more Flame, but they do still have some decent SFA players. Most notably on defense, they still have Elipidus Xander, Angel Honeymoon, and Johnu Eve, along with Leighton Rich Creek. They did lose a lot of the offensive stars, though, so it'll be interesting to see what the offense looks like for Baylor. No more Julian Bexley. So can Coach Syracuse Brio make his way to a third national championship? He's still yet to win one. Transfer portal only style coach. Parker Towns making his debut. Oh, baby. Can he save the day for UNC? They were desperate for a quarterback in the portal. They may have just gotten the best one in the country. Yeah, but I also utilize rejects and stuff like that in Phi, and I have like reward players. Syracuse Brio is truly transfer portal only. So 14-0 here for UNC. Baylor gets one back right before half. Weird things do happen here in Waco, though, as they score right before half again. 10-point lead for UNC. Baylor hanging around, and they tie the game as we head to the fourth quarter. Oh, baby, UNC, not like this. Come on, Parker Towns, please. I'm on my knees. Not sure what is even going to happen here. We're going to go one play at a time the rest of the way. Parker Towns with a 3-play tutty. Oh, baby, he just hung his nuts right on Waco. But now the defense has to do their part, and they give up one right back. No! It's an interception on the goal line from the 3. Oh, my God. Baylor throws an end zone interception. And now they've got to get a stop on defense. Interception on the goal line. So Parker Towns can end the game. First down there. They're going to have to start using those timeouts now. Parker Towns having a very unique game here. Finds Thomas Ward, the transfer from Ohio State, who helped him get to the semis in season 18. First and 10, looks like Hulk Hogan in the backfield, and he rumbles for 10. SFA IGR. So last chance here for Baylor. Cannot give up another first down. Handoff to Hulk Hogan, and he gets 2. 2nd and 8. Hand off to the outside, and they're going to get the stop. That's Angel Honeymoon, I believe. Or no, that is Tim Reed. So 3rd and 10, last chance here for the Baylor Bears. Their first game without Coach Flame. Parker Towns are going to keep him with Hulk Hogan. So Baylor will get the ball back unless they're planning to go for it. Interesting strategy here if they do decide to go for it, and they will. Oh, baby. First down wins the game for UNC. Currently a cover. Fourth and 5, time ticking down. They might get 15 seconds out of this. They get a stop. What is the call for UNC? The snap, it's a screen pass, a Hulk Hogan, and he can't get it off. So 16 seconds here for the Baylor Bears. They threw a pick on the goal line on the last possession. Can they find some magic here? 1st and 10, quick throw, and that goes nowhere. Cedric Gibson, 9 of 23 on the day, missing Flame dramatically here. No pass game to speak of. They're just going to have to try and catch him and yam it deep here. Quick step drop, dumps it off to the tight end. That's going to end the game if he doesn't get the first. They're calling it a first. They're going to have one more chance here. Gabriel Sutton stretches, saves the game. They got to hurry it up, though, and get this down. And they will. So one play here for the Baylor Bears to tie it up with Parker Towns and spoil his debut. 4 seconds left. They're going to have to yam it as far as he can. 51 yards away. The snap. They bring a blitz. Rolls right. Has to throw it. He can't get it off. And UNC's going to win the football game. Urban Gallo does it. The Eastern Michigan transfer. And UNC will cover. Parker Towns' tremendous debut here in his senior season. 450 and 4 touchdowns. And I'm sure that's going to send shockwaves throughout the nation that UNC is back. UNC playing the season 15 natty, the season 17 natty. So they're looking for their 3rd natty in 5 years. Just going to wait for the cutscene to end, but we only have one more game on the slate here for BearCave. We'll see what happens in that one, and then we have a banger, Texas Tech and Alabama coming back at ya. So the scoring summary here. Parker Towns, 51 passes, 451, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. They really couldn't run the ball till the very end of the game. Gardasani goes 14 for 159, the tight end being his true safe haven there. Had 2 scores as well, dominating them in the flats. 4 TFLs for Urban Gallo. He had the only sack. 2 picks, Gillette and Cole. 2 deflections, and 1 forced fumble. For Baylor, Gibson had a horrible day, 189, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. John Brown, the freshman, ran all over him, almost 200 yards. And defensively, 11 tackles for Honeymoon, 2 TFLs for Rich Creek, no sacks on the day, 2 interceptions, 1 for Serge McSchnoot, 2 deflections, a lot of forced fumbles, And then we'll do it. So we'll get our player of the game, and then we'll get on out of here. Not sure what a solo skiff is. So that's a UNC cover for those of you guys at home. Bit out of the loop over here. What's a solo skiff? All right, Michigan State and Tennessee. Coach Nick versus Coach Jay Jettas. Very evenly matched here. 2.5 point favorite here for Nick and Coach of Tennessee. So let me choose the UNC cover here. Then we got Tennessee. All right, Jay Jettas, heads or tails, kick or receive. And Nick, if you want special jerseys, if you're here, let me know. I don't see anything in the chat. Waiting on Jay Jettas and his heads and tails kick. I know he is here, or at least he was. Very evenly matched game here. I think that's Nick's probably pissed that his team isn't looking as good as normal. Remember, Nick did miss day one of the transfer portal by 1 minute. Heads or tails, kick or receive. What's tails keep mean? Does tails receive, you mean? So here we go, the main event. And we've got rain here on Rocky Top. Michigan State and Tennessee, SEC versus the Big Ten. Here we go. Quick score for Michigan State. Tennessee does respond. Tennessee takes the lead. 14-10. Can Stan Reisner make some plays here? They do get a long touchdown. Third quarter in action. Tennessee comes back a little bit, and they get within 1 point. Michigan State once again pulls away, looking really good here. And Tennessee throws a pick. John Wobbles throws it to Bell. Not like this. Jerron Flavors transferred from UTSA. Can't do much. They're going to have to focus on the defense once again. Down by 8. An interception from Lee Thomas. Here comes Tennessee. They're racing down the field with Jerron Flavors. It's 4th down. They got to go for it, and they don't get it. So now they've got to trust the defense. So here we go, a minute 55. They're going to have to kick it away. Tennessee gets one more chance. So here's the return for Tennessee. They'll start at the 50 from Kirk Gold. They have to get a touchdown and the 2-point conversion to send this to OT. Jerron Flavors spent a year at Texas, transferred to UTSA, started a couple years and found his way back to the SEC. John Wobbles in the backfield. The snap, the pass to the flat, and the completion for 3. Ryan Pennington. 2 interceptions now for John Wobbles. Not the best start to the season, especially at home. You're going to have to get it done in the rain. Wobbles dumps it off, and a drop from Jerron Flavors. Oh, no. Not looking good. They're only 4 of 14 on third down here. 3rd and 7. They have 2 plays to get it. The snap for John. The Yam open. Cuts up field. First down, Jonathan Adams. Huge completion there for the Volunteers. The drive and the game continue for now. Michigan State putting them on upset watch here. John wobbles. Yams at one, open man again. Jonathan Adams another time. The tight end getting involved here. They might need to put Verkiki over on the tight end, one of the best linebackers in the country. Going empty set now. 4 wide, Yams it. No, that's just a catch in the flat. Ryan Pennington again. So they went Pennington, Adams, Adams, Pennington here. As we now cross the minute mark. Down by 8. They're 20 yards away. Going Wildcat now. Jerron Flavors at quarterback. This could be a keeper there. Taken down by Verkiki. Don't think that style of offense is going to work too well against this linebacker. Empty set yet again for Wobbles. 5 wide, trips to the left side. Yams it left side. It was underthrown. He had a step. Michigan State's going to win the game. Picked up by Baldwin. Just an egregious underthrow there. Michigan State still has to get a first down. We'll see Stan the Man Reisner. The Yams legend. Oh, it's a keeper from Lee Thomas. First down ends the game. He's tipping a safety. And that will end the game here for Michigan State. They walk into Rocky Top and slap their balls across Nick's face. Oh my, what a football game. What a way to close out week 1 BearCave. Wobbles throws a 3rd pick on the day. So 3rd and 15.
Double tight. 3 down. Watch 42.
True. John Wobbles is only good when he's on his Twitch account during the game. So there it is. 4th down. Game is over. Tennessee loses. Michigan State starts out with a massive victory. Jay Jettas, who was on the chopping block last year, survived a wheel spin and now gets a critical non-conference victory against a top 10 opponent. And that is a Michigan State outright victory, folks. What a way to start the season for Jay Jettas. 34% of the money there. So that will do it for BearCave. As always, though, we're going to go through the stats, and then we'll also preview Week 2 in the SFA, which I think it's scheduled. What's today? Is today Wednesday? It is Wednesday, so it's scheduled for next Monday. So the day after the Super Bowl is when we'll have our next stream. All right, so let's take a look at these stats here. Scoring summary. Drawn flavor. Stan Reisner gets into the end zone. Ollie Munch, the transfer from Arizona. Lee Thomas goes 20 of 40, 294, 4 touchdowns and a pick. Reisner had 121. Ryan had over 100 yards. Jaquez Webb, the Yams legend and the freshman reward player here for Coach Jay Jettas. He is our fantasy football Reaper League reward. He had a touchdown in his debut. 2 TFLs here for Fox. The sack for Crawford. Interceptions for Bell, and Vince Baldwin gets the game-winning interception. Couple deflections. And John Wobbles is going to be on the chopping block here. Some people are saying Tayton Snow as it is his time to shine. But it's 24-41, 241, 3 interceptions in his debut. Jerron Flavors had a good day, 127 and 2 scores. Juan Pablo Antonello had 47 yards. Zeus Nyberg, 12 tackles, 4 TFLs for Vince Vogel, no sacks. Interception for Kirk Gold. 4 deflections. And that will do it. So we'll get our players of the game. We'll preview week 2 and we'll get out of here. I'll take about a 5-minute break to set up game day. And we'll be right back for Texas Tech and Alabama for the debut of Tyron Halaban, the number 1 recruit from the season 19 class. All right, so MSU with the outright victory. All right, so let's debut, or not debut, but let's preview next week's games. All right, so week 3, Penn State at Wisconsin. Mighty, mighty Penn State coming on into Madison. I don't think Dave can handle it. Cryo versus Flame. Dogwater versus Kenzie. Yui versus Blazing. And Pizza versus Keat. A lot of user versus user games this next week. Oh man, a lot of great games here in week 2. Holy Toledo, just on this page I could have a full BearCave. What on the earth is this slate? What has Rick done to us here in week 2? My God, look at these games. Absolute insanity. You even got Ohio State and Washington. Tennessee and Stanford, both teams who have lost. And now that we have a full game under the belt for all teams, you guys should definitely submit your rankings. I think we might have like 10 plus games there, ranked versus ranked opponents next week. I kid you not. Syracuse looking good so far this year. NC State versus North Texas is a sneaky good one. A lot of stellar games on the slate for week 2. All right, folks. Well, thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. Like I said, it takes me about 5 minutes to switch things over, and then we'll get started with the next one.